to you joining us for season 2, episode 5 of A Measure of Marketing, where we are talking about how you can make the most of a small business marketing budget.
No money.
On a shoestring, or not necessarily. It's just what do you use it for? Where do you put it? Where do you invest it? And why? And I think it depends where you are in your business journey,
Yeah.
actually.
I also think as well, like starting a business, even if you had like cash in the bank and you could spend it, I think it's good to do it on a budget to start with, and like
Hmm.
learn elements of it and understand what's available and check everything out. And almost even if you had like hundreds in the bank and you're like, I can spend it, try and do it without, just
Hmm.
that you've properly thinking about what's happening and what you want as well, rather than throwing money at certain things and not having that full education on different marketing parts.
Yeah, if you're starting out, I mean, we said this, didn't we, in the last episode, that trying to educate yourself or to understand marketing when you first start out can, not only position you as a I think a better small business owner, but it can kind of save you money in that if you learn as you go and understand it, when you do have to pay out for some help, at least then you know exactly what you're paying out for because you've
Yeah.
done all that kind of research and learning before it. Um, I mean, nothing for me when you first start out, nothing really supports you better than the marketing strategy piece, and paying someone to do that
Mhm.
would be a really good use of your budget. But equally, you can do that yourself. There's ways of learning that.
Yeah. I just had a thought then when you was talking. Also, the bit on when you first start out to like 5, 6 years down the line, if you've done the graft yourself,
Mm.
you really appreciate it and the depth of it. And then it enables you to brief marketing people in a better way further down the line if you
Yeah,
do outsource. And it also helps you to put into context different outsourced roles in marketing. And because you've done a bit of it and you're like, I get how they're working, I get how they need
yeah,
to think and how things piece together. So actually kind of like getting into the dirt of it to begin with is helpful
yeah,
from lots of angles, I think. Um,
yeah. It's foundations, isn't it, really, of
yeah.
understanding it all.
And personally as well as a like solo, sometimes I'm not sure if using yourself is a good example when you're a marketing consultant, because I guess
Mm.
we find it easier. That's the whole point, isn't it? To execute. So it's a very different world for people that have zero marketing experience to what we feel and
Mm.
how we think. But I personally have done my own, not on the basis of that I can do it or that I have the time, because sometimes I don't want to do it and I don't have the time, but intentionally to really like figure my own stuff out and what I do want to outsource eventually and what I don't, and to not spend money. Like I've
Yeah,
definitely done my own for that reason, or at least try to find like the most cost effective way of doing things. Um, Probably so I can advise other people on how to do that as well. Mostly
yeah.
this podcast.
I don't think you actually need to spend out anything at the beginning,
I
to be
don't either.
honest. I
No.
think, I mean, I think there's a lot of organic stuff. Like people say, oh, do I need paid ads? Do I need this and that? I actually think there's a lot of organic stuff. If you can nail that strategy piece and
Mm.
then consider a website, and I know we're going to talk about this in another episode as to whether actually you need a website or not. So I'm kind of hinting at my answer already.
Okay.
Um, Even if you were to have a very simple website, establishing your search engine optimization, SEO or even GEO to try and get to a point where you're found by your target audience. And that can take months. that's the best investment of your time. And if you need to spend out on that to get someone to help you, that's where your budget should go.
Yeah.
Um, so that organic search piece, and social media, that's everything you can do yourself. You don't need to pay out for that if you learn it. And equally the whole relationship building to kind of drive new business, to get you more money to kind of put into your marketing budget, that doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
Um, and I think, when you start creating content, you can recycle it. Again, that's all for free. I think when you need to really think about is, do I need someone to help me? Do I need to pay out for someone to help me do it? Um, and my time. And again, this is kind of like the previous episode. It's your time that you're investing yourself versus getting someone to help you in that kind of limited experience. But to start, you don't need to spend much. Even Wix and Squarespace as a website provider, you can do it for free. MailChimp, if you wanted to start an email list,
Agree.
is for free.
Yeah.
Canva, you can use that for free.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think.
Just trying to think of the subscriptions that I've got and like what I pay out for. So I have MailChimp, but I have is it like the basic version? I hate how they
Mhm.
name them, different pricing structure,
Yeah.
but it's like 10, £12 a month. And
Mm.
then I do pay for Canva Premium, but I'm sure I
Yeah.
could get away with not using the premium version. Like, I'm sure I could, but that's only £99 for a whole year, or at least it was.
Yeah. I'd struggle without it actually, with the amount I use it. So I think £100 investment for a whole year is actually really
Oh
good.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then I did pay for my website, um,
Hmm.
but it wasn't a whole lot. I built it myself to start with, and then someone just redesigned it. And then I pay that website person per month, like £38 to they do the hosting, which I could
Hmm.
absolutely do myself. But we have strategy calls. So um yeah, we really like delve into the website. And as I'm like building out some of my services, um, I find that really helpful because I think I would forget about my website, which is not good practice for my reach. Because I focus so much on like social channels, I feel like I'm at a point where I am happy with my website, but I'm very conscious that it can be left, and to have someone there like going over the strategy and talking about AI bits on websites and stuff like that now has been really helpful. Um, and also they make little updates and things like that when I need
Mm.
help with it. Um, that's something all I pay for. I
I
don't
pay
think.
for Canva, I pay for Squarespace, I pay for my domains. I run my own website. I don't pay anyone to do that. I have a MailChimp account. I have the free account because I'm typically brought into other people's accounts. Same with HubSpot. So I don't necessarily pay for that. I don't run an email list because I don't have the time to do it. I don't pay for premium on LinkedIn. I don't
Um,
have verified on Insta. Um, I think I have Grammarly. I pay for the prescription with Grammarly.
any AI
But
tools? Do you pay for premium versions of
I've got other tools.
AI?
AI. Oh yeah, I do. I do that mainly to keep up with my clients because they're all using AI as well, and they're happy for me to use it. I kind of have to. So yeah, and actually,
Yeah.
it's one of the best investments I've done to do that. Uh, oh, I pay for Microsoft 365. I have a subscription for that
Yeah.
for Word and Excel and all the kind of usual stuff. But these are tools, I suppose, in first because I do my own marketing. I don't necessarily need to invest in it.
Yeah.
And I'm quite savvy with SEO and web development. But I know I when I work with clients, um, when we build a strategy, marketing budget is the last section in that budget, in that strategy. My typical advice is if you want to grow your business, you need a budget for marketing, which is 10% of your annual revenue. If
Yeah.
you want to stay the same as in you don't want to grow, but you want to sustain and maintain where you are, 5%. So your marketing budget should be 5% of it. And that's always my go-to. And I advise it, I always recommend it. And I will get clients that can spend that. Some can spend more or less. But I think it's different when you're starting out. You can't
Yeah.
always put that marketing aside. You need to spend it on what you need to get through. And it will be
Yeah.
different for every business owner. It will be
Yeah.
different if you've got a team or if you're just doing it on your own.
Yeah. I actually had a lady reach out to me recently and she said, like, I have this amount each month.
Mm,
I appreciate that that's not going to be enough for you to do the doing. Like,
mm,
what could you do? This is my setup, this is my brand, this is what I want to achieve. This is where I want like my energy to go on and where I don't want my energy to go. And we worked out a bit of a plan that was around a bit of an education piece where we just sit down once a month. Like half of the session is on looking at her strategy, her action plans, and then the next bit is on me personally teaching her something that she's struggling with.
yeah,
But she just gets that one-to-one time, and just despite her not wanting to do the doing, like she was quite realistic around. I know that like this amount isn't going to enable me to fully outsource yet, but she was almost like gearing up to that. So she did that bit of,
yeah,
I'm going to learn it, I'm going to do my best, I put this time aside. um then by doing that it's going to generate more revenue, and then therefore these are my goals to outsource further down the line, and I know it
yeah,
will definitely be this and this. So
yeah,
really, like, I just thought like that's a really good approach to get the kind of coaching, but split it into business development and then that like education and training.
mm,
Um, yeah, if you can't actually, yeah, use somebody else to do it. But in terms of subscriptions, there I do see quite a lot of people paying out for different things. And I think every quarter to look through your finances and go, am I
mm,
actually really using that like to its best
yeah,
potential? Um, because there's probably quite a few things I imagine that people go, it goes under the radar and it's £10 here,
yeah,
20 here.
yeah.
Um,
Similar vein, I've
mm,
sometimes said to clients, is your marketing budget best used for marketing at this point in your business? Your marketing has got a steady flow, it's consistent. Why don't you take what you've budgeted for it and invest in some business development, someone that can help you
yeah,
create those opportunities, those conversations to drive inquiries, leads, and generate, opportunities for you to close? Because if you don't need to spend it on the marketing, because that's far, you need to put it elsewhere to get the work. So
yeah, yeah,
that's a better
definitely.
use.
And I think there's that fine line as well. And like from a personal perspective, like there's this fine line for me, and I see it in other business owners too, where marketing is okay, like it creates that
Mm.
visibility bit. People know who you are, but you can do all the best marketing, get everyone in the top of the funnel, be doing the best content, and then you've got proposals and you're not skilled enough to convert them.
Yeah,
So that's it's understanding as well as a person where you need that down this simple funnel. Okay, it's actually the visibility bit I don't understand, but I'm probably good at sales.
mm,
Or like it's actually the middle of the funnel. I need email marketing or support there. I'm good at the social media stuff. For me, I'm okay with all of that. It's the
yeah,
being brave and having the conversion conversation. So personally for me, I haven't invested money in outsourcing parts of my marketing. It's on my own development. It's on
mm,
being able to not pitch, but just have a conversation that supports that conversion and really digging into business owners like mindset and also their setup and their needs and their goals. So yeah, there's that very fine line between you can do as much marketing as you want, but if you're
yeah,
not converting them, I would say sales as a add-on of understanding around marketing is a key thing to know. in life,
Yeah,
I would say.
because I don't think people necessarily budget for that business development support
No.
because they're still trying to understand marketing. They don't get where it starts and ends and where, business development then takes off to help them.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is a tricky. Well, it's probably another episode actually, but
it
we've
is
chatted
probably.
before about it in season one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Well, yeah, I guess then split out. So what we've spoken about is um, the strategy piece, where your energy needs to be placed, what you've chosen to execute across which channels, and then probably like putting a red ring around the ones where you're like, definitely don't, long term, don't want to be doing that. Where are my finances looking right now? To what is the best use of this money? And then if you're not just starting out, really looking at that subscription rate that you've got set up, are you using them the most? Could that money be injected into a business development piece instead,
yeah,
sales or just business development coaching?
yeah.
Um, and what else did we say? What else did we say? I think that's
A
everything.
lot of stuff you can do for free. And actually,
Yeah.
if one of your strategies, for example, is event marketing and you want to spend some money going to exhibit, you're going to have to do that graft yourself to free that up because that's a huge expense.
Yeah.
So I think it's not linear. I think it's knowing where you need to put the money at what point in your business journey and that point of that financial year. And I think we've gone over a fair range of places where you can put it, but yeah, it's never going to be the same for every business.
No, it's definitely not. And there's that point of going, okay, I'm going to have to muck in and do this for the next 6 months to hold this money and, like, say, put some money aside for this event that's coming up in the next quarter or in quarter 3.
Yeah,
Um, and then I can then use the spare money that I've got into
yeah,
putting it into here and outsourcing this bit to free up my time. It's very much like a freeing up time, but making sure that when you've got that time, your energy is put into that best place, like the absolute best possible place for visibility or conversion.
yeah, yeah. And the money that you've invested, be it an event or a website, is actually going to get you the return. So you need to then
Yeah.
focus your energies in on that because otherwise,
Yeah.
what's the point in saving that money for that particular
Yeah.
purpose? So, yeah,
Yeah. It's the energy and return actually is
yeah,
how you're making your decisions, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I hope that was
Nice.
helpful to everybody who's listening in. We will see you in episode 6. And yeah, any questions or comments after listening, or any like queries or things that you might be worried about, feel free to reach out to Hayley and I on YouTube, Spotify, maybe,
Yeah,
but mostly
you can comment
LinkedIn.
on there.
Like, find us on LinkedIn, A Measure of Marketing, and ask us questions. You can DM us over on there as well. And we'd be more than happy to help or make
Mm.
a tailored little episode for you if you wish as well. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thanks, Kelly. See you in episode 6.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.